Give us a second, Baba Kushai.
Yeah,
Double check. Yeah, online live too, and then the other channels.
It says upcoming. Is it clear?
Matter of fact, I did set it up here just to see.
Ooh, it's a blurry image of me calling Matatia with
Yes, sir. You gotta keep it fresh.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all?
Yeah, we good.
We good. We got audio.
All right, Shalom, Shalom. We have the brothers of the Great Millstone, the branch here in Chicago. And first and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory
To
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
double honors to the apostles, double honors to the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity.
That's right, man.
All right, to all our brothers out there that's doing this work. All right, to the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, you know, among the heathens that look like the heathens, and to those few akwaf that are listening and learning, we say shalom. And like the title said, there's a lot to talk about. Where's being on my channel?
Yeah, there's a lot.
And one of the first things that we're gonna go in on is this whole coronation. And I don't know if brothers out, because first of all, King Charles is the king of absolutely nothing.
Absolutely.
Bring it out.
You know, I mean, the evidence that they are not the royal family, they're not the actual royals of Europe. All that truth is out there. They live in Europe now, but they're not the royals. They're not those royal families that go back to the time of Bruce the Black and King James and and
The Dark Ages.
Robert the Bruce and and all that time, right? The Dark Ages, medieval times. All right, they're not those people.
Anybody got a problem?
And and so one of the first things that I found interesting is that that the brother brought it out that the coronation was done 6 months after the death of Queen Elizabeth.
That's right.
6 days. I mean 6.
6 months, 6 days.
6 months, 6 days.
6 hours.
6 weeks and
6 months, 6 weeks,
and then
6
6 days. Right. So that's how you get your 666. So 6 months, 6 weeks, and 6 days, and and it was May 6th, right? So, it's kind of it's if that's not a sign or of the time, then it clearly tells you that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, all right? And like I said, somebody can grab that.
I got something.
Absolutely, bro.
This is 1 Maccabees 1:9, and after his death, this is talking about Alexander. They all put crowns upon themselves, so that their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. Esau was just self-proclaimed himself to be a king when they're not a really official king. And it's funny about King so-called Charles. I actually met him when I was in grammar school. He came over to Whitney Young High School, and since our grammar school is right around the corner, even though I eventually went to Whitney Young, they had the Secret Service and so forth on the groups and everything. And I actually have a picture shaking his bastard hand. They and when he was a so-called prince,
Right.
all right, and Prince Charles. But now that his mom had died, they just made him king. This is one of Esau's motives of motive operandi. His
If I may, with a quick
Baba
scripture.
Kushai.
1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 6. It says, "Howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, yet not the wisdom of this world, nor of the princes of this world
Perfect.
that come to naught." All right, them being in rulership right now, all right, it's ultimately going to come to nothing. Like the elder said, he's the king of nothing.
That's it.
Because his power, all right, is going to come to naught. His agenda ultimately is going to come to naught. It's going to come to nothing, because any body on the earth that has a mindset contrary to the mindset of the Most High God is going to get conquered by the conquering lion. All right, so they're going to come to naught. This Prince Charles, King Charles, whatever, is going to come to naught, to nothing. This is 1 Corinthians 2 and 6.
Right, in Revelations, when it talks about Yahweh Shai coming back, it refers to him as the King of Kings. So when the Lord comes back, There's not gonna be no democratic process. There's not gonna be a choosing. It ain't gonna be can I have this? Exactly. It's gonna be a totalitarianism in righteousness.
In righteousness.
Right.
That's
Matter
it.
of fact,
monarchy.
now that he said that, somebody just read Daniel 7 and 18 real quick, because the Lord is going to set up His people.
That's it.
All right, and they're going. You got it, brother. And they're not. There's going to be no negotiation. There's going to be no. You know, it's not going to have some big old round table where all the nations sit down,
well,
they flags.
How about you, Charles? I think that's not being fair how you're treating us.
Yeah, so it's going to be. This is going to be a complete dictatorship.
That's right.
From on heaven, from the heavens, from on high.
Bring it out.
All right, there's going to be a new government.
That's right.
All right, and it's gonna, and that government is going to consist of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, whose name is Yahushua, who of King David sitting on the throne yet again, once again. All right, and then the rest of the 12, the rest of the 12, and then the rest of the 144,000.
I got something after that. Daniel, you called for it?
Come.
This is Daniel 7, and you said verse 10.
6. Did you say 6?
Is it 7 and 18? The sakes of the Most High.
Okay, yeah, okay. It's Daniel 7 and 18, and I got one of Daniel with that. It's Daniel 7 and 18, but the saints of the Most High shall take the. Let me start up. This Daniel 7, and I'm gonna jump down. Daniel 7 and 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down. So all the whatever rulership that's in this place right now will be thrown down, man.
So remember, when the Bible talks about mountains and hills, it's talking about governments.
That's right.
So so basically all the governments in the UN right now,
That's it.
those are the mountains and hills.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them are going to be cast down.
Well, the
right.
proof is, what do they call it? Capitol Hill.
That's it.
All right. So I beheld till the thrones were cast
It's like if I
down.
was going to add to that, how is the United Nations still in America? If they were so great, it had nothing to do with the beast who's running this world. The United Nations headquarters is over here in New York. So go ahead, brother.
I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool, and his throne was like the fiery flame, his wood is a burning fire. Yeah, I gotta keep going. I was gonna jump. A fiery string issue that came forth from before him, thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were open. So this shit gotta be destroyed, as the Bishop Yaki said, man. Because he don't like to be called elder. So as the Bishop Yaki said, this shit gonna be put to naught. All right, all King Charles, motherfucking Putin. All right, not a fart, but a Putin. They all going down. All right, they all going down. Right. I beheld then because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake. I beheld, which is America. I beheld even till the beast was slain. The UN, NATO, like Elder Wright mentioned, that's that beast. Essentially Rome 2.0.
That's right.
And his body destroyed.
That's right.
And given to the burning flame. This place will be burnt up.
That's right.
All right.
And they should not teach you that in churches. Matter
Yep.
of fact, they teach you in church that if you say shit, damn, or fuck, that's a sin.
Yep.
And that's not.
Rude
Yeah.
I'm gonna
speech.
change it, you know, but
Yeah.
go ahead.
That's rude speech.
13. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven and came to the Ancient of Days, which Yahweh shall come to the Most High. And they brought him near before him, and there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him.
Exactly. So let me add this to what you're saying before we continue on. I was trying to find an article that I was reading. The article was about the South Africans asking for the Culligan diamondback that sits in one of his in the scepter.
That's in the
somebody still can see if they can look it up.
They're the London Towers.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
pull it up. It's in London Towers.
There's there's a scepter that he carries.
Yes.
And there's a it was I think they
diamond.
dug it up over 100 years ago in South Africa, and it's just gigantic diamond. They declaring him to be the ruler of the whole world, that he could drive any speed limit, that he can't
The
get pulled
Culligan
over.
diamond
Yeah.
is the largest gem quality rough diamond ever found,
And so
weighing 3,100 carats. Shit.
there
And
it
they
is.
and they stole it
So-
and they have it in their property.
And no, it's in his scepter.
Yes.
Right.
It's in the scepter, and then there's another precious stone that's in the crown, And
That's
so
not-
these nations, here he is being crowned king of the world, and they're like, hey, no, you got to get it. We want that back.
That's right.
I'm gonna need to get that from you.
That's right. Oh, pay me.
Right.
You understand?
Oh yeah, you the king. Yeah, I'm gonna need that.
That's right. Because what they did is they went.
Well, I'm the king.
Well, I never.
Well, I never.
And you never will. But that's what they did. They went and conquered these other nations and took their precious relics, well, as the scripture says how they did to us. They went into our place and took our crowns and our gold and our jewelry and took our things and our diamonds. All right, and then they put it a part of their wealth. And it's actually many countries that are asking the different European nations, Esau, to give them back their things that they've stolen from their nations.
Yeah, it's named after the nigga who owned the mine, which this diamond mine is in South Africa.
There you go.
Which the Edomite that owned the mine.
De Beers? That's the De Beers?
No, Sir Thomas Cullinan.
Okay.
Elder,
That's why it's called the Cullinan Diamond.
Yep.
Exactly. And how is it that this Edomite owns a diamond mine in South Africa?
Come on, brother.
All right.
Which is
Did we not? Hey, the earth was given into the hands of the wicked.
Perfect.
Right.
Elder-
Colonization is just a nice way of saying, you know,
overthrow.
gank it.
right. You didn't right. You jacked.
Thievery.
You didn't jack somebody.
That Micah 2 and
Right.
2 and 1 and 2, they covered fields
Get
and
it.
take them by
Get it.
Now, while you getting them, finish this out. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. And I started right there above what the Elder Malcolm called for, because hey, it's the kingdom of Israel, but it starts with Yahushua ruling.
Huh?
So now I hit the verse.
But didn't it say that they would serve him?
Yeah, Yahushua is going to be the
servant.
biggest slave
So the word
master.
servant, you know, the root word of it is serve, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right, I just wanted to be clear on that.
Yeah.
So because that immediately brought to my mind Psalms, the 2nd chapter, and Revelation, the 26th
right.
chapter.
Yeah. Hey,
If
I'll-
somebody can grab those.
Our Lord
Yeah.
Yahushua will
2:27.
I already got it. That's what
Yahushua
it's
will
about.
be the biggest
Let's see,
slave
that's the
master
spirit.
on earth.
That's right.
These
No, say it again, brother.
Yahushua will be the biggest slave master on earth.
Say it again, brother. That's right.
That's right. This
Así es.
now verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom
Take the kingdom.
and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. In Psalms 149, it says, "This honor have all my saints."
That's it.
What was that honor? To grab up you fucking heathens, slap them chains on you, and put your ass in subjection to Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushua.
That's right.
Praise
And
He.
it's
How?
it's nowhere around it, man. Matter of fact, let me just hold on. I don't just want to run my mouth. Let me grab it. Run my mouth with a
Mouth.
PH.
All right. With a PH at the end.
No, we talked about yesterday in the line. How is it that Austria holds the last Montezuma's headdress? How is it
And they make
that these Austrians that had no part of the Mexican conquest were gifted by the Spaniards the headdress of the last Aztec emperor?
And then they make some bullshit excuse talking about, well, we can't get it back because if we touch it, it just crumbles. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Look, Revelation 13, 9 and 10. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Perfect.
Right? He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Right.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
That's right.
The saints are patiently and faithfully waiting to put into chains and put to the sword those who put them in chains and those who put them to the sword.
And took all their shit.
Point blank, period.
Right.
Thus says the Bible.
That's right.
And if you got a problem with it, you got a problem with the Lord. You
That's
know,
right.
Just because these lying-ass churches aren't teaching you the truth. They teach you this love, love, love doctrine, and that's not what the Bible's talking about.
That's right.
At all.
That's right.
All right?
That Micah 2.
Like the creator of everything is subject only to love. He can make you a human being that gets shot out of your mother's ball sack into a woman, develop a complex physiological system and nervous system, turn into a man, have emotions where you can be sad, happy, angry, but he only can love. Yo, dumbass.
But in his word, he also says in Ecclesiastes, it's a time to hate and a time to love.
Exactly.
It's a time to kill and a time to be mended or to heal. All right. So it's a contradiction. All right. I had the mic, but wait, brother.
This Revelations 2:26, and he that overcome and keep my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessel of a powder should they be broken to silver, even as I received of my Father.
I just watched a movie that came out earlier this year, and it was called Medieval. And the movie was really a good movie, except for the fact that they had everybody, you know, all the important characters were all so-called white people, and now we know real history. You know that during the medieval time, black people were ruling, so-called black people, Israelites, were ruling Europe. All right, the evidence of that is overwhelming. To speak against it, to say opposite, just makes you look stupid or hateful. It makes it look, you know, you just ignoring evidence. You're right. You're ignoring proof and evidence. And if you didn't know it and you're in shock, then now you know. All right, because you can do your research and find this out for yourself. But what he had in that movie was a rod of iron. He carried a sword, and he carried a mace. It was a mace. It was a rod of iron, and he really did beat people to powder with it.
Arise, O sirloin of beef. Arise, O milk of magnesia.
Hey, I got this.
This is Psalms 2:8.
I got Psalms 2 and 1. It's Psalms 2 and 1.
He trumped you, brother. He trumped you.
Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?
So, you know, it's vanity. Why do you rage and make a tumult? Why do you rage and make all these agreements and these councils and these contracts to try to hide who the Lord's true people are?
Right.
And then try to call them a hate group and all this other madness. When all they do is bring out history and the truth in the scriptures.
Just talk.
And they understand it in the scriptures, which you hear.
Like them black bitches that you sent the video of, they was going into what's going to be in the coronation, and you got to pledge allegiance to King Charles and shit.
Yeah.
Hey, look, man, you think the Lord is going to just allow you to rule over us forever? Well, you do think that, but that's a vain thought. That's Ezekiel, I believe, 35. It says we will rule over these two nations as if the Lord was there. So you telling us you the most high bitch? Hey, the Lord is finna kill you, devil.
Right.
And put you in chains.
That's it. Verse 2. This is Psalms. You had something?
Let him finish that. Let him finish that song.
Psalms 2 and 2. It says the kings of the earth set themselves.
Oh, wait a minute.
And say, I'm royal.
I'm royal.
Did it not tell you that when evil multiplied in the earth, when the Edomites got control over the earth, in the Bible, that they all set crowns upon themselves, and they still doing it to this day?
Yes, sir.
The rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure.
He's chuckling, so he laughs so hard he's shaking.
It said,
get that shake laugh. Right.
Verse 6 though, it says, yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion.
Come on, brother.
You see?
Who's that king? The world ignorantly calls him Jesus Christ.
That's it.
You got to remember when Paul asked who is it that's speaking to me, when the Lord said his name, he told him in the Hebrew tongue. And proper nouns don't translate. That's how you know that there was mass wickedness going on.
That's right,
All you got to do is watch any news broadcast or watch any sports broadcast of any foreign language, and they'll speak in their language, and then when they get to a particular athlete's name,
Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, the Olympics and the NBA.
that's exactly what they do. So you can't get to the Lord and just call him what you want to in your language.
Right.
Proper nouns do not translate.
And don't come with that transliteration shit, because look, even the word apple, there's a Chinese word for apple, there's a Spanish word for apple.
That's right.
All right, but they don't say manzo or whatever the fuck how you say apple in Spanish.
Maranza or something like that.
Because it's well known.
They don't, right? Right, when they talking about Apple, the company, they still say Apple.
Yes.
I remember something I was looking at recently. I put in the group me. They still said Apple. They ain't changed it.
Right.
That's perfect. Because that's a proper noun associated to a company. Just like over here, we didn't change Yamaha or
Suzuki,
Suzuki,
Yamaha,
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What the
None of
proper
that.
name mean? Because I bet you those words in Japanese actually have a meaning. We didn't say Yamaha, which means whatever it fucking means. You know what I'm saying?
You have to remember when Yahweh delivered us from Egypt, he wanted his name. Reason why he made Pharaoh heart so hard so he could get his glory. So you know,
To glorify his name,
right?
magnify
That
his name.
that's it. He's the man. Basically, he's the
Right.
head. He's the head. He's the one that's head in charge. Nobody else. Just like Nike. Nike head in charge of gym shoes. Yahweh's head in charge of this whole universe, man. You gotta say his name. You can't translate his name, brother.
And he sent the men of the Lord to signify it, to preach,
Yeah.
And to
the
publish.
true word.
That's it.
It is only given to the prophets.
That's it.
Just if you think you can pick up this Bible and just start reading in Genesis and read straight to Matthew, all right, skipping the Apocrypha, by the way, and that you're just gonna understand the Bible. You're gonna read from Genesis to Revelation without the Apocrypha, and you're gonna understand it. And even if you have the Apocrypha, the scriptures clearly say you need a man to teach you.
Yep.
Yahweh says it all the time. The Lord set up particular and special men here on earth to teach everyone the truth, because it's evident that the truth has not been taught.
That's it.
Because the scripture clearly said when this gospel was taught to the four corners of the earth, then the end shall come. That God loves everybody, and that church doctrine has been taught for 500 plus years. And we've been on the internet since 2007, and look at the state of the earth in that short period of time.
That's right.
All right? Look at all the things that has happened. Why? Because the true men of the Lord are given a true understanding of what's in this book.
And that's scriptural. Let me finish this Psalms 2 and 6. It says, "Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion." So while these heathen nations are vying for the next top spot to be the next superpower, all right, and crowning themselves, kings and all that, it says that the Most High had already set his king, all right, and that's Yahweh Shai. And there's going to be a governing body on his shoulders. Subsequently, the governing body of the nation of Israel, who during the time of these kings of this earth, the heathen, all right, that's ruling, Daniel 2 and 44, it says, "And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people." All right, it's only going to be the Israelites.
So listening to that truth, what the Bible has said, because I'm gonna stand on the word of the Lord.
Absolutely.
Then that would mean that who's over in the land of Israel?
Impossible.
Because how is it all these other nations have their own sovereignty, et cetera, while the Israelites were back in the land of Israel?
Mm-hmm.
How can that be? So what that means is that, well, somebody is lying.
Yep.
Why would you have a United Nations?
Why is there a United Nations, United States, or United anything?
Right.
All right, if Israel has gone back to the land, there's supposed to be peace on earth and all people taking a knee to the Israelites and following their ways.
That's it.
Right? And they're not following the ways of the Bible. There's all kind of madness going on.
Right. It says every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess. You see, there's all manner of different mindsets that have some type of sway in this earth today. See, in the kingdom of heaven, right, it's only going to be the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, all right, that is going to be forced upon, the rest of the earth. All right, that's why it says wicked deeds shall bear no rule.
So there will be no pink city.
Exactly.
There'll be no biggest LGB parade.
That's it.
Jubilee.
So let me finish
So-called
this.
Jubilee.
This is Daniel 2 and 44. It says, "And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever."
Who's going to consume?
Exactly. And that's going back to that Psalms 2 that Pops was about to read. If you want to read it, that 2 and 8.
2 and 8, "Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thy inheritance,
That's right.
and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with the rod of iron."
Break these.
So Because there's 3 words that's come out that I like to hear. Somebody look up servant. All right.
Just
Somebody
regular definition.
Yeah, just a regular definition. You can grab it in the Bible too. Well, what was the other one he just said? Read it again, Pops.
Okay. Ask of me and I shall give thee the heathen for thy inheritance.
Inheritance.
Yeah, inheritance. Yeah.
And the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession.
And possession. So inheritance, possession, and servants. Let's get those 3 words.
And the Hebrew servant is ibad.
All right.
Here's the definition of inheritance.
Oh shit, bitch.
No, let us speak.
That's right.
It says a thing that is inherited.
Sound like a future Becky concubine.
Okay.
In the
Definition
kingdom.
of inheritance.
I should be
Here's
cutting.
the definition of inheritance. A thing that is inherited.
A thing.
Plain and simple.
Man.
Thing
So
that's
then you have to
inherited.
do that's Esau bullshit because then you had to go ask what's inherited mean. All about to
I got it,
inherit.
y'all.
It's
Yeah,
Esau.
let's get another.
I got servant on the etymon line.
There you go.
So this is the etymon line dictionary.
Etymology online.
Servant.
That word etymology meaning truth in words. What it actually really means. Find that definition again. Oh, you got it
I got servant.
in the etymology. Go ahead.
I got it. Yep.
Go
It
ahead.
says one owning duty of service to a master or lord.
A master.
Yes.
Ah.
Or
So
lord.
it said the nations. So the nations, all the nations of the earth are going to have a master, and they're all going to be part of and possessed
Yes.
by that master.
Yeah. Well.
And they're going to be the heritage of that master.
Yep.
And then there's a certain group of people who are joint heirs with that master.
That's right. Hey, I got a quick one. Baruch chapter 3 and 33. Baruch 3 and 33. It says, matter of fact,
Put it up on
32. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivities and think upon my name and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers which sinned before the Lord, and I will bring them again into the land which I promised with the oath unto their fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it. And I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished, and I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their God, and they shall be my people, and I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them. But the point was that it says that they shall be lords of it. All right, and so here it is. We're going to be the masters and the lords of these heathen nations, thus saith the Lord.
Let me finish this. I'm going to start at 9. This is Psalms 29. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. 10. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings.
Hey, and it says we're going to break them. We're going to break them from their innate heathenistic way, all right, that they have. That's why it talks about a horse not broken becometh headstrong.
Right.
And so we're going to break them and make them tap out to know that our way is the only righteous spiritual way, and that's the way that we're going to rule. We're not going to allow the heathens to rule with the death style anymore.
Exactly. They're actually going to participate in the light.
That's
Isaiah
it.
8:20. They're going to
8:20
follow what's
will get
written in the
destroyed.
word.
That's it.
All right, but you have something to God.
No, I'm going for it.
All right,
Got the dictionary?
what you got,
Capo
bro?
has
I got etymon of inheritance. The real meaning is to make an heir or to appoint as a heir. That's where you get the word inheritance.
Wow.
So so
Heirs to the crown.
heirs to the crown.
Heir to the
And if you go to the scriptures,
You may join
when
heirs.
right when it goes back to Abraham, thinking that someone he can just give it to anybody, the Lord said no. This has to come from that comes from your own loins
Right.
is your heir.
That's First Kings 8:19. When he says that thy son that shall come forth out of thy loins shall build a house unto me.
That's right. That's right.
So that's how you become an heir. You come forth out of somebody's loins,
Perfect.
and now you're heir to whatever he has. And then whoever comes forth out of your loins are also heirs to that. That's how it works. And that's how it always has works. But go ahead, finish that, brother. We gonna get these definitions. With,
okay.
The brother Kazak, Yahweh, and humble servant
Haran.
They put up some. We're gonna read those definitions as
The
well.
brother Haran crossed the
Yeah,
line. He's officially
Hey, congratulations.
So hey man, shout out to that brother.
God.
Haran, I see you, baby.
Check it out. Sauce, nigga.
Come back for a pizza puff.
That's salmon.
That's right. Yeah, you come cook for us anytime.
Okay, who's doing what? Anybody reading something?
I will hit these definitions. Age 51, 59. Higher. Then it says Strong's definition 51, 57. Well, it says similar attendant, retainer, domestic help. Strong's definition Nahaya Nahalal.
Like a handmaid servant.
Right.
All right. So your wife is gonna have handmaids. Your wives, plural. Right? Because every Israelite man is gonna have plenty of wives. We live in a society now where that is shunned or looked down upon, but women can sleep with as many men as they want at this time, and they raising the roof for them.
But they body count.
All right.
It says in its usual sense, properly something inherited, for example, occupancy or an heirloom, generally an estate, heritage, inherent possession. So if I was a Hebrew Israelite back in 2000 BC, and I spoke Hebrew, my child would inherit Hebrew. They will also inherit their lineage. They'll be in the records. Remember, if you remember when certain people who came and they'll say, "Where are the Levites?" They said, "Well, until we have a priest with the Urim and Thummim to make sure and prove that we will hold you outside until we know that for sure." You inherit the promises and the glory, and then the language, and then the land, and then the wealth that is passed on from your ancestors to your descendants. So it's going to be not only just the land and the money, but your culture, your customs, your ways.
And them stones, you just talked about a specific stone or something. Or,
The
you know what I'm saying? Those eyes, you're gonna have to run that.
And the slaves as well.
As a matter of fact, everything they got over there in those vaults. In those underground vaults in the Vatican, you have to run all.
Hey, well, it says according to their substance shall the restitution be.
Because we know that they have all the stuff that they took from the temple in 70 AD in there.
In the law itself, it says we're going to inherit the heathens.
Right.
All right. That's in the Revelation 2. It says about the slaves, even as I received of my Father. That's a part of that inheritance.
That's it. The world, the whole world is ours.
Hey,
that's our heirloom. The world.
And Isaiah says the gates gonna be open continually.
I got it.
Go ahead.
This is Isaiah chapter 60. I start at 5. It says, "Then shall you see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee."
That's right. The sea meaning all the other people, all the other nations.
17 other nations.
It says should be converted unto thee.
Yeah, so they're all going to become tributaries.
Hey, when you look up that word fear that you just read, when you look it up in the Hebrew, it actually goes into awe. You're going to be in awe of how much it is. Hold on. You knocked on your door. Nah, that's got to be David's portion. I ain't supposed to get that much.
Right.
Nah, this your shit.
Right. It says the forces of the Gentiles shall come to thee. And that forces goes into the riches, right? It says the multitude of camels shall cover thee, the dromedaries of Midian and Ephah. All they from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold and incense.
It's going to be trains of camels
right.
loaded down with just stuff on it.
That's it.
Right?
And they shall show forth the praises of Yahweh. All the flocks.
And so the nations of the world aren't calling on the name of Yahweh. But they are.
But this
they're gonna learn.
They're gonna learn.
Right.
So see, those people that's over there in Israel and Jerusalem now, this hasn't occurred for them.
Y'all ass weak as hell.
Right.
Y'all ain't got no dromedaries.
Right. Hey, like you said, they're gonna learn it because we gonna learn them.
That's right. How your mama used to learn.
You're right.
I'm gonna bust that fiction going out on that ass.
I'm gonna learn their ass today.
I'm gonna learn your ass today. That's what I'm
That
saying.
was my
I'm gonna
favorite
learn your ass
student.
today.
That's what Larry used to say. Three Stooges. I'll learn you.
That'll learn you. That'll learn you.
Yeah.
Verse 7, it says, all the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered unto thee. The rams of Nebowith shall minister unto thee. They shall come up with acceptance on my altar.
Minister unto you meaning serving you.
That's right.
That's right.
So, you know, whatever that is, cooking, cleaning, building, you know, Moab is your wash pot. You know, Moab give out the bomb massages.
They some clean motherfuckers.
They gonna be some dishwashing motherfuckers.
They
Man.
pay Obi and
You know,
pound their face down to your
They
shit.
got Issachar in the fucking kitchen cooking the food, washing all the fucking dishes.
Yeah,
man.
no, Ishmael ain't go. That ain't that. Those days about to be over.
That's
right.
it.
All
It
right.
says, they shall come with acceptance on my altar, and I will glorify the house of my glory. Who are these that fly as a cloud, as the doves to their windows? Surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of Yahweh thy power.
So they're gonna be breaking themselves.
Break yourself.
That's
Right.
it. Like you say all the time, a guy got a beautiful daughter. Master, here.
Yeah, they actually gonna be excited that their daughter actually gets to be a concubine.
Exactly.
Put her to death.
That they get to be
Maybe they
that
can
they
find
get to be a
favor.
servant
That's a
because
privilege.
that's gonna be a privilege.
That's it.
That's right.
This is, you know, they're gonna be excited. My daughter get to go to the big house.
The king of Egypt.
I know I never see it, but at least my baby will.
That's
I
right.
believe it was the king of Egypt.
So you think?
Gave his daughter to King Solomon.
You know?
Wow.
To the steps. I hate
Yeah,
that.
he built the whole crib, the whole crib in this
Yeah,
area.
he built the whole grid.
Yeah, it's gonna be raw in the kingdom. All you heathens gonna love us.
Yeah.
You fucking black
But
bitches.
here's the
gonna
flip
be in
side of
our-
it. You know, the crazy part of it is that they love and hate us now.
Already.
It's like a love-hate
Oh yeah.
relationship with Jacob
Paul
because
Mooney said it best.
everything everything that's exciting in this society is Jacob. You know, if you watch the
TV,
television,
everything.
when you watch television and the cartoons and the movies, the music is either gonna be hip hop or it's gonna be so-called Latin based.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear it right, and I mean that's what it is, man.
Everybody want to be a nigga until it's time to be a nigga. That's
right.
Paul Mooney said.
I know, said that movie.
He did say it the best.
I got something.
Go ahead,
This
brother.
is Joel 3. I'm going to start at 5 and I'm going to read down. It says, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and ye have carried into your temples my goodly and pleasant things, the children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem ye have sold unto the Grecians, that ye may remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of the places whither ye have sold them, and I will return your recompense upon your own
Right,
head.
so when he raises them, what are they going to be doing? When he raises them out of they got scattered to the four corners of the earth. When he raises them, what are they going to be doing? They're going to be prophesying the word of the Lord. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're being raised out of the places where we were scattered. You are witnessing, eyeballing, as they say in the Marine Corps, you eyeballing me, son?
Right.
All right?
God.
You are eyeballing prophecy happen right in front of your face.
That's
All right? Bring up what you got, something, St. Benji?
So
Because we're gonna switch it up now. We're gonna talk about a whole nother event. What you got, brother?
Basically, you said we talk about prophecy. This one of the prophecies that's going to happen. It's Isaiah 49:22. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will lift up my hand to the Gentiles and set my standard to the people. And they shall bring thy sons in thy arms, and thy daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their face towards the earth,
Albions.
and lick up the dust of thy feet. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me.
There it is, man. All right. All the nations are gonna bow down to the service of the Lord, man.
That's
to,
right.
To Him and His people. And that
That's
being
cute
the,
song.
and that being the, right. Bow down. You right, brother. That was West Side Connection. All right. Go ahead, brother.
Same vibration. This is First Corinthians 15 and verse 24. It says, "Then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to Yahweh, even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power."
Everybody getting put down, man.
That's right. And
you know,
like
Bevo said, knock him out, knock you out. Right. All right, the Lord coming to put down everybody, man.
And the reason why you want to do it is because you done stole the shit. Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity, work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it's in the power of their hands. They covet fields. Ooh, I like that. And they take them by violence. Gangster.
So this is how basically Esau, Edom, all right, you know, got to crown themselves, put crowns on when they're not royals, and got the whole world. They raped, robbed, murdered, and pillaged. All right, America. I mean, you've heard so many heathen, mostly women, speak on it. You know, on different platforms, how America became the most wealthy and powerful country off the genocide of the so-called natives. All right, and then the rape, robbery, and murder, slavery of the so-called African Americans. So-called. All right, so the inhabitants, the indigenous populations of the Americas, they committed a form of genocide and took all their wealth, their gold, put them into slavery.
That's right.
All right, and then when their numbers got weak and they couldn't do the work anymore, you know, they went over to the west coast of Africa. All right, and they started snatching people out of Africa. All right, and they also took them from Portugal and Spain.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that was, matter of fact, that was the first batch of soldiers in 14.
Mm-hmm.
I mean slaves. In beginning the time of the Renaissance, early 15th century. All right, and they Portugal and Spain when it failed. All right, but anyway, we're gonna talk about another story that I came across today. Is that Israel just got the green light to act on Iran separate of America or any NATO nation or any NATO treaty.
Right.
So somebody can see if they can look at articles, see if they can find an article or something on it. All right, but supposedly Israel has been given the green light to act on its own, and it's just funny that all that happens right around the time that everything else is going on. Mm-hmm. You know, with the whole collapse of the banking systems and the money system. More last week or this week that just passed, you had a whole bunch of more small banks that collapsed. And eventually it's just going to be, you know, J.P. Morgan, which is one of the biggest in the West.
Which just took over Signature. They took all their assets. So
you're going to have J.P. Morgan, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo. All right, if I'm not mistaken. Those will probably be the three. All right. And yeah, that's it. You know, whatever the other two big ones are. But all the smaller banks are being swallowed up. Mm-hmm. All right, so you got that going on. But the same with Israel acting, somebody get, because Elisa the Flock, she'll draw them out, because that prophecy has to come to pass. Mm-hmm. World War III doesn't go full blown until the sea hip is forced. All right, because it's gonna, or when it started to become, you know, or they start giving it to everyone, and you can't, life becomes impossible if you don't have it.
And the debt ceiling debacle with the Congress
in June,
Senate and versus the House, and then Joe Biden saying he's going to veto the current version, so forth. So they go through this every couple of years anyway. But they're pushing it down to now. I know it's June. I know June,
early June, first week of June is the deadline. June 1st, actually. Yes. But not even without that, it doesn't matter. It all changes over digital.
That's right.
I mean, it already has, but it's going to go full blown. Right. Because pretty soon the paperback, the greenback is going to be, you know, tender for your fires. You know, so you can cook your ramen noodles.
I was finding that article. What was y'all saying? Goes into effect June 1st.
The CB. No. Slacky. That's coming too, but that's in conjunction. But it's the debt ceiling. They're saying if it's not done by June 1st, then we default, and if we default, then we can't pay our bills, and then what to pay.
And all that's on the table at the same time, and all that threat of that happening, we know eventually it's going to happen. They can't keep kicking the can down the road.
That's all they've been doing.
All right, and then it really doesn't be, and it doesn't matter if they kick it down.
There's no more road to kick the can.
There's no more road to kick it down. All right, they didn't hit that wall. You know how these women hit that wall?
That's right.
All right.
Bring it up.
You know.
Yeah, I got
Now
that
that they
precept.
chubby with all them different baby daddies, now they want to settle down and be treated like a queen.
Kind of cheese
All that.
fries, bitch, different seeds.
You know,
Bring it
I
up.
got that precept for you.
Go ahead, brother.
Oh, you got it? Go ahead, brother.
That's the water, bro. This Jeremiah 49:20. Therefore, hear the counsel of Yahweh that he had taken against Edom and his purposes, that he had purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate.
God, and Teman is a Edomite stronghold. There was also a lot of Amalekites out of they come out of Teman. Them Amalekites that went over to the land of Israel. So Amalek, the Lord said He's going to have war with Amalek from generation to generation, proving that the false Christian doctrine that the Edomites have been done away is a lie. That's just yet another scripture. Another scripture-based receipt that proves that that's a false statement or a false doctrine that they teach. And the simple being because now we know who the Edomites are, and the Edomites have been trying to duck and dodge their heritage and duck and dodge their punishments. All right, and think just about lying about who they are and calling themselves Caucasian or white, that's going to prevent the prophecy from happening, and that's not the case. There's nothing you can do to stop this prophecy. The kingdom of heaven comes in with the fall of Edom. The two go hand in hand. The kingdom of heaven comes in with all nations and principalities being under the foot of King David and the 144,000 under the authority of Yahushua. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That is how the kingdom of heaven comes in. No kingdom in any place in time in history has ever been set up by peace and love. Oh, no. And no kingdom has ever fallen by peace and love. Kingdoms brother, I love you. Here you go.
Give me I want the eastern portion.
Yeah, here's open the gates, let them in.
Thank you.
But now that you got it now, show some love and give it to me.
Well, I guess I have to return the favor.
Right.
Pay it forward.
So when has this ridiculous scenario ever happened in history?
Right.
What you see is when some guy comes start talking about give me the kingdom, you see all the men on the ramparts with helmets and spears and arrows and pouring down hot coals and fires and trying to, bust down gates and go over walls.
Exactly.
That's what happens. And women are hid, all the women are hid in underground inside of rooms and stuff, hoping that when the doors get open, it's not the enemy soldiers.
Exactly.
All right? Because when those doors open up, if it ain't your men, you about to get ran through.
You the booty.
You about to get passed around and passed out. Sold and scattered. That's what's about to happen. And the kingdom of heaven is going to come in with great violence. And people, you've been sold this lie that you're just going to die and float off to this place. The kingdom of heaven is going to be here on earth. And the scripture said that the least of the flock is going to set off the things that's going to... did anybody find anything on that story?
Yeah, I got it right here.
You got it? Okay, Papa, jump.
This is allisrael.com. So All Israel News. Washington says Israel has freedom of action against Iranian threat.
Freedom of action.
That's the name of the article. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan recently clarified that the U.S. Biden administration gives Israel freedom of action against Iranian nuclear threat. And if you read through this, I'm going to jump down to the paragraph. If you read through it, they want to keep Iran from having nuclear missiles, which I'm pretty sure already got them.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like how, Esau wants to arm himself to the teeth while taking all the arms from everyone else. Because Esau, Edom is afraid of losing power and recompense coming against him. That's what it really comes down to. All right, and these nations are actually chomping at the bit. Because it's not just the Israelites that's going to get at them; the heathens are going to get at them too.
That's right.
Because they did a lot of dirt to the other nations. They really and to the nations that were part of that crafty council with them. Right. They really screwed up. They really messed over Elam. All right, and then they really messed over Ham, and Ham. And China's in a position of strength. So no matter what they did to Moab, Moab has definitely been getting them back. All that opiate stuff that they did to Moab, at the turn of the century, I think Moab has definitely got them back even more so. But yeah, Moab jacked them up, man. So well, go ahead, brother.
Yeah. And I'm jump down, right? This is great. This is prophecy. The best way to stop Iran from getting a nuclear weapon is an effective agreement, concluded Sullivan. While the Biden administration clearly prefers a diplomatic solution to the Iranian nuclear crisis, it is keeping a potential military solution on the table by giving the green light for a potential Israeli military strike against Iran's nuclear sites.
And if they strike Iran, all right, if they strike them, we already know the Armenians, it's all going down. You got to remember, Iran is not alone. Iran is not only do they have the BRICS, but now they have this, these Arab nations, these Ishmaelite nations have all unified.
Remembering themselves, yes,
that's right. You know, go ahead, brother.
And also in this article it said they have material to make 5 nuclear bombs. But what's great about this is the fact that Esau, the hammer of the earth, is talking about diplomatic means. Hey, read that precept, right?
It's Isaiah 33:1. Woe to thee that spoil, and thou wouldest not spoil, and this less teacherless.
Dealest treacherously.
Dealest treacherously, Slakia. And they deal not treacherously with thee. When thou should cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they should deal treacherously with thee.
Right. Before you speak, brother, somebody get that definition of treacherously. Wasn't there a rapper named Tretch?
Yes.
Tretch.
All right. And when he always walk around with a machete or a chain, kind of treacherous,
and
or baseball bat.
And he was down with OPP.
Right.
And he was kind of treacherous. He was that backdoor, side door nigga, huh?
Hell yeah, he was a wicked nigga.
Did he leave yet?
Hey, on Jason's lyric, he's sitting there on some gangster shit talking about killing nigga. Then he said, "Now leave me. I'm trying to catch the Holy Ghost."
What the
fuck? He was listening to the choir, man.
Hey, I got it. Wow. This is the definition of treacherous. Characterized by faithlessness or readiness to betray trust, deceptive, untrustworthy or unreliable, unstable and insecure, dangerous, hazardous, betraying or likely to betray faith or confidence, dangerous, and that's basically it. Unstable in this one.
Con. So Esau was talking about diplomatic means. Hey, this ain't the old Esau usually fuck you up. What happened? You made a whole excuse and lie about weapons of mass destruction. Let's go fuck up a country. But now you're talking about some diplomatic ways, the best way. But we'll leave violence on the table. No, it's because you at the fucking end. These other nations are strong. All right, Iran, you know, they got that protection. That Ezekiel 38 prophecy.
And Iran is also a strong nation. They're not weak. They got the capability to fight you.
That's right. They said they got the uranium to make 3 nukes. That's what you know about. Which means they probably got more than that. Right. And then what they got in their back pocket, all right, is Ezekiel 38. Right. 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach, and Tubal, and prophesy against it. And that is the land where Russia is at, man. So it's talking about the modern day Russia. And say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince. Whose phone is that?
Whose phone? Oh, my bad. Sorry.
And say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks to thy jaws. I will bring thee forth in all thy army, horse and horsemen. So the Lord is going to make this war happen. World War III will happen. The Lord of hosts muster the host of the battle.
And this is something that's very close. Yep. I mean, this could be weeks, months, and not years. This is something that's very, very close.
That's right.
All right.
Got a point?
No.
Something else. All of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, which is Iran, All right, they just changed their name to Persia a few decades ago,
I have
man.
it right there on the screen.
Oh, damn.
Carmania, under the Arsacid Empire in 2010, Carmania was a vassal kingdom ruled by certain Balash.
210 AD. You said 2010.
Salakia, 210 AD. Salakia. Carmania was a vassal kingdom ruled by a certain Balash who was defeated and captured by Dashir, king of Persia. So Carmania goes back to Persia, and if you go to Persia, it got changed to Iran, and that happened just like you said, no more than 34 years ago.
Persia, the first on the list, Ethiopia and Libya with them, all of them would show the helmet, and we see the Hamites linking up with who? Russia and China.
Yep.
Which China's in league with Russia.
And with all that death that's going on in Sudan right now, Sudan is joining on to them as well.
That's right.
And then the Sudanese are a heavily Muslim country, so those Israelites are going to link up with them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so they're going to fight right along with them. So they fall right in with the
Right. You want me to that Carmania?
Yeah. When he finished that, you can read that. We'll get ready to wrap it.
Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. And didn't the Arabians just work out a deal with Russia and China for their oil? Mm-hmm. Hey, this shit is a wrap. The Russia, hey, let me keep going. Be thou prepared, be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself. Thou and all thy company are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So the Lord put that spirit on Russia to be at odds with America over this whole time for this purpose here.
Yeah.
That's why he had the hooks in their jaws. Because you was going to be the feet of the beast, the bare feet in Revelation, the feet to walk this bitch into destruction.
Yeah.
You're the part of Esau that's going to destroy Esau, man.
Yes. He said they'll be destroyed by themselves, All right? So Esau is going to be destroyed by Esau. A house divided cannot stand. So go ahead and get that Carmanian scripture.
You fuck with Iran, you got a lot to deal with.
That's right.
Bitch.
All right, and for the record, I just wanted I was pulling that up while I was getting this. Iran, in 1935, it adopted Iran. It used to be Persia, and in 1935, it was Iran. And technically, it's not even Iran or Iran. It's actually Aryan. You said the same as the Aryan nation. It's
right,
that's
the true Aryans. And you got these stupid racist clowns that refer to themselves as white, and they're not white. They call themselves Aryan. Yeah. The Aryans ain't got nothing to do with you.
And that Aryan goes back to
geniuses.
So and that's why if you go do your research, you'll find those like, well, this doesn't make sense. But do you go pull the whole conclusion of the matter? You see the debauchery about Esau Edom and his madness. This is 2nd Esdras 15 and 28. Behold, an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmanians, which is the Iranians, Persians or Iranians, raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood. And if you ever see a wild boar, which is a male virile pig that's wild, they will eat anything, even
they'll attack
anything. They will eat a human remains, bone and all, the whole nine.
Garbage.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
And the Flintstones.
Oh, damn.
That's right. Right. And with as go before wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come. That's why. That's one of the reasons. You wonder why is America attacking Iran, which seems to be some small nation. This nation is an ancient nation with ancient wealth. They have wealth that goes back for thousands and thousands of years, and they have been part of many conquests of the world.
And I bet you they got a lot of gold and silver.
Yes,
I'm willing to bet they have a lot.
That's
of
my
it.
point.
And they probably got gold and silver that's not even accounted for.
And they got to take into account Russia.
That's right.
They start slapping them sections on Iran. Russia was fucking with them already.
And they had agreements with them already. Mm-hmm. That's right. And so it says.
And then they got to think about all the pocket nukes, the suitcase nukes, that because they got records of what was destroyed.
Right.
And they got records of certain shit that should have been destroyed that's missing.
That's right.
Well, that shit is somewhere. Mm-hmm. Russia is a guard to these people.
Yeah, especially with all these soldier-age young men that's come across the border. Yep. That's a whole other issue we didn't even get to.
Right.
I mean, I was watching some stuff on that today, and it was kind of frightening.
And from China, from all from many different nations.
Many of these places that are actually at odds with America.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So it's like they got ground forces already here.
Insurgents already
Yeah.
here.
And any mercenaries that could have come up from South America, them battle hardened, guys would be running around the jungle shooting up shit all over South America, man.
Now you remember
macheting people to death.
Now you remember about
dressed like trees.
A good 10 years ago when we were dealing, or maybe 7-8 years ago when we were dealing on the internet, and then the Chinese mafia had hacked and started fucking with us and hacked my brother's stuff.
They sent that letter, that email talking about some. We see the triads on you right now.
Yes.
They said they got sleeper cells already over here. They threatened us and all that shit. And guess what? Fuck you, motherfucker.
Yep.
And this was over 10 years ago.
Yeah. They put $10,000 on my Sprint account and then took it off.
And then kept messing with it. And they had shut down one of my brothers had this very similar. We had the same initials damn near. And so they thinking it was me because of my website. They shut his stuff off. Had my whole family we had turmoil and had my father and my brothers coming against us and so forth. Which when we broke it down to them, of course, it was cool, but it was a lot of drama. But they said specifically, we have sleeper cells and we know where you live. And they said our address. They said you live at blah 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 blah. Right. We're going to have people come over there and kill you and so forth. And we said, bring it on, nigga. Here's
the thing though, is that it's not like we're right next door to Chinatown.
That's right.
Moab can't come over here like that.
That's right.
Moab come through the hood, start trying to do stuff like that. Triads or not, the hood gonna come against them. It ain't gonna be good.
Yeah, fuck them triads. I cussed them out in their own spot.
And we sure did.
And they welcomed me back.
And the funny part about it is they were talking about they were from Chinese, but they were talking about Singapore. They was talking about like the Taiwan. All that's China. See that the offshoots of China and Japan. A lot Moab and Ammon are Taiwan, Thailand, Singapore. That's all China and Japan. They go back to those are offshoots of them.
The children of Lot.
The children of Lot.
Korea.
I got a quick one.
Indonesia, all that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Deuteronomy 3:22. Ye shall not fear them, for the Lord your power, he shall fight for you.
Yeah, Isaiah 54:17. No weapon formed against us shall prosper, man. The only thing you can do that's what the Lord allow you to do.
That's it.
Right.
And the Lord promised us protection.
That's it.
It's a little bit more than this. 2 Ezra 15:30. Also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them.
So when this happens, who do you think they're coming against?
That's it.
They're coming against them Israelis.
Mm-hmm.
And the power structure of Esau Edom. That's what this is talking about. It's written. So it's gonna and the least of the flock shall draw them out. Who's the them?
And shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians, and then shall the dragons
and
have
Assyria touches Israel.
Yeah, when you Syria at one point you look at ancient Assyria. Assyria ruled Israel. They took over the northern kingdom land. That counted as the kingdom of Assyria.
There you go.
Shalmaneser and Company. That's right. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature.
That's why these Arabians.
Wait, he said so. Basically, Ishmael gonna win this particular battle.
Yes.
So, hurry up, Amalek.
Do your do.
Push the goddamn button.
Push the button. That's right.
Go ahead, small hatters. You do your thing.
Right. Don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Yeah.
And then
march your zeets right into war, man. Go ahead.
And then shall the dragons have their upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves conspiring together in great power to persecute them, then these shall be troubled and keep silence through their power and shall flee.
So the Lord had already set it up, man, where the Carmadians gonna put their foot in your asses, man. That's part of, and they're gonna eventually end up getting defeated by the Lord anyway. But nevertheless, they gotta win their battle, man.
It says
Russia and the Carmanians it's over for you.
It says
Esau's about to destroy himself. Now not that kingdom, that last kingdom, which shall destroy thyself. Exactly what the same Benji said. Russians are Edomites too, and they're gonna destroy these Western Edomites. Go ahead.
He keeps on showing these icons. That's what. Freaking Putin.
Oh yeah, he just.
Hey, but that's spiritual too.
He showed the doozy just.
Yeah, that's the spiritual.
Matter of fact, I just got a new cashier book. I got a whole book that's full of some of them icons that Putin been showing nothing.
Perfect.
The book is full of nothing but dark
Damn.
outlines.
Perfect.
He like,
I can't wait to go into that.
He said, "All right, America, I got something for you. Look at this."
So we're definitely on this man's side at this point with that.
He's
So he's showing you that what he's showing you is that the angels and the relics, the angels and the relics of the Lord were all melanated people. But yet, and all of a sudden, when the West rose and America came into power, and you know, and the Western powers came into power, meaning those European countries, all of a sudden the Lord and all the all the heavenly images turned so-called Caucasian.
That's right.
All right. All right, and Putin has been presenting the receipts and the evidence is that that's all a lie.
That's right.
We tell you every week, week in and week out, that this man, this ruling over you and ruling over this earth, like that funny looking dude who just got crowned. They're liars. All right, they're not royals. They're matter of fact, they're the lowest people on the human.
He had his mama a queen for 40, 50 years.
You know, they're the lowest. They're the lowest on the totem pole of mankind. He said he was gonna put the bases of men are in rulership.
That's right.
All right, and that was a punishment to the Israelites,
To the world.
to the world. It's like, not only I'm gonna put you down, but I'm gonna put this weakest worm over you.
That's right.
All right, this little, daddy short stroke pink motherfucker. All right.
Verse 33, and from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them, and consume some of them. And in their host shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. Behold, clouds from the east and from the north unto the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm. They shall smite one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth, even their own star. And blood shall be from the sword unto the belly, and dung of men unto the cow's hoof. And we keep going, but
wow.
There's gonna be a lot of death.
Yes,
death
and bloodshed.
A lot of death and a lot of bloodshed, man.
And there shall be a great fearfulness and trembling upon earth, and they that see the wrath shall be afraid, and trembling shall come upon them.
One last scripture, brother. Go to Second Ezra. You already there.
Got you.
Go to 11 and 40. How about not that last?
Got you.
Second
11.
It's gonna be, and they're gonna be destroyed by themselves, just like Saint Benji said. The Lord is cold, man. Think about it, man. The Lord is a master chess player. When He set up all these things that happen throughout time, from 30 years to 50 years to 100 years to 1,000 years, but it all falls into line in His time frame, and for people to get away with lies until the lie exposes them, and then all of a sudden at the end to be destroyed by themselves.
That's it.
The Lord is cold, man.
Yes.
The Lord is cold.
That's right, brother.
I'm gonna prove you. I'm gonna show that you're a liar. I'm gonna make you a nobody and a nothing and an embarrassment. And shameful spewing shall appear upon thy glory. Your women gonna turn on you and be your women gonna be the traps and going whatever. And then I'm gonna destroy you with yourself.
That's right.
It's absolutely amazing, man.
Yes.
This is the coldest. If this was a movie, man.
Yes, sir.
But go ahead, brother.
Man, this second Esdras 11 and 40. And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were passed, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit.
All right, they sit upon the throne of lies. Everything about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, his rulership, even the way he rules over the people, everything's with deceit, man. Almost every policy that they got set up actually violates the Constitution. A lot of things that they're doing to the citizens.
Yes, sir.
From taxes to driver's license to so many things.
Federal, to state, to local, to county.
They're robbing and raping the people and breaking the law of the land while doing it, and the people have no clue of it.
None.
All right,
go ahead. It says, for the earth hast thou not judged with truth, for thou hast afflicted the meek.
Okay, one more scripture after that one. I gotta get it. To him who does evil to himself,
who can be good kind?
Because he screws up his own people, man. All right.
For thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls such as did thee no harm. Therefore is thy wrongful dealing come up unto the highest, and thy pride.
So now that wickedness has finally reached into the heavens, and that's why the Lord sent the men of the Lord to preach the word, the truth, And now the Lord's Spirit is activating on the earth, and these prophecies are popping.
That's
They're
right.
popping, they're moving.
And-
All of a sudden.
And thy pride into the mighty. The highest also have looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled, and therefore appear no more. Thou eagle, nor thy...
Wow, because you think about it, man. The ultimate thing they were doing with this whole alphabet lifestyle thing was to get to pedophilia, and now that's full blown.
Mhm.
Child trafficking,
Pizzagate.
and pedophilia, and all that stuff is happening. And I mean, hell, you had all these people in the Pentagon last year got busted for child porn, but then that story just disappeared.
Mhm.
All right, you never heard nothing else about it. All that cocaine they got caught up on the Chase J.P. Morgan ship. That story just disappeared.
Huh?
All right, right, exactly, huh? And then if you a television personality and you question to say anything about Building 7, you get fined.
That's it.
Yeah, Building 7, huh?
What?
Right.
Who taught you how to count?
The highest also will look upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled, and therefore appear no more, thou eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body, that all the earth may be refreshed and may return.
And for any of you ICIU members who might be listening, Nate Highhorse, that was actually talking about Rome, but we can equate it to America now.
That's right.
All right, well, go ahead.
That all the earth...
Because America, you know, that's that little horn, the fourth beast of Daniel.
That's right. That's it. That all the earth may be refreshed and may return, being delivered from the... That all the earth may be refreshed.
And that basically that was when the Roman Empire fell and when the Edomites were no longer ruling, when they stopped being the pagan Roman Empire and became the Holy Roman Empire, when so-called black people ruled Rome and all of Europe for that 1,000-year period up until the Renaissance, 1492, when one of the last strong so-called dark strongholds fell, which was Portugal and Spain. All right.
That all the earth may be refreshed and may return, being delivered from thy violence, and that she may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her.
So there it is, man. So they're gonna be destroyed by themselves. All right. So with that, one more.
You got it. This Sirach 14:5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his good.
Right, so everything is stored up, you know, the election put on, like it says in Job.
That's right.
All the gold, the riches you got, you're not going to get to enjoy it, man. You think you're going to go ahead and chip the world and sit on top of your throne, your high horse, and just run everything. Nope.
In the fullness of his sufficiencies, he shall be in straits.
Yeah, so I'm glad you got all that gold out. Go ahead, brother.
The sinner should not escape the spoil.
Yeah, so it's good you got all that gold out of America. Make sure you get whatever's left in the votes.
Get all of it.
Get the rest, Docs. We gonna need that shit.
That's right.
All right. Then that's that.
And people don't understand. We have over 100 some different nations, several hundred nations out here who have some of them going back for thousands and thousands of years. They have wealth that is inconceivable to the mind because we haven't seen it. But you're talking about exactly when the Chinese had gold that was in America, and then they asked for their gold back, and America sent them some tungsten gold. There's when you say thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds and bars of gold, and tons and tons, and different each country, and you're talking about the wealth. And an overwhelming majority of that got stolen from us and our nation and our people.
America stole it here.
That's
I mean, you know,
yes.
They even stole it from their own citizens once they set it up.
1930s.
All right, they robbed it because they supposedly gathered up all the gold and put it in Fort Knox.
And it's nothing.
But they can't. And most of the soldiers that have had that duty, you know, after their services over, they tell you.
Good.
Go there.
Get it out of there.
So you know, so it's so
gotta
it is what it is, man.
Y'all gotta make streaks with that gold.
That's right.
You know,
streaks for us.
And that's the whole land.
That's right. Hey, so with that, man, we're gonna give all praises, all honor, and glory unto
Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Rakadash.
Wa-abba-ba-ba.
Abba-ba-ba.
I'm charged.
Turn those machines
Pure gold,
back.
bro. Like